Welcome back to Worth the Effort Woodworking. Today I'm going to be turning a live edge bowl out of this mesquite blank I have. Now as I do this, in an attempt to maintain as much of the bark on it as possible, I'm going to be doing some techniques that go against the bowl turning norms. So as you watch the video, see if you can detect those out and figure out why I'm doing it that way. And at the end, we'll discuss. So let's get busy making a mess. Let me ask you, has the natural live or free edge style moved away from the American craft movement's appreciation of wood to hipster cliche? It used to be most all furniture and fixtures had some kind of live edge, be it bark, axe hewing, or sawmill marks, because the average person just couldn't afford much more than a slab for a table with legs pegged into it. This was the everyman's furniture. It wasn't much thought of. And then we left the Middle Ages. In the 19th century, the American craft movement took off with its focus and appreciation of grain and wood. Leaders such as Krenov, Maloof, and Nakashima reintroduced us to the beauty found in wood and its grain. Nakashima is credited with bringing live edges to the forefront again with his large tables. His admiration of and work with features found in wood that most considered flaws, such as cracks, knots, wane, and bark, were brought into focus as beautiful appreciation of the tree's life. While Nakashima was known for his free live edge tables, he also made many more pieces, such as chairs, cabinets, and such, to augment that work. He still utilized grain and wood in beautiful but more refined ways, just as did Krenov and Maloof. He understood that if one of his live edge pieces is to be the focus in a room, it can't be surrounded by its like. A diamond set into a beautiful ring is to be admired, but in a bucket of other cubic zirconiums, it'll be overlooked. My opinion is today we've transmogrified Nakashima's ideas under the guise that if a little of something is good, then a lot of it must be better. Thus, the natural edge theme has become a decor. It's become the shabby chic of interior design because it doesn't take much artistry to slap a slab on any old frame and call it a piece of free edge. And if you can do that for a table, then why not a mantel, a coffee table, a bar stool, cabinet, or vanity? If you really want to bring attention to a live edge piece, then it must be the focus, and it must be worthy of that focus. It must be of the quality that a person can pour over every inch in equal appreciation of the skill of the artist hidden unnoticed in the final form of the materials we love so much. I can tell you this, set a well-crafted natural edge bowl alone on a modern table or a shelf. Now that's something that a guest will comment on and admire, and it'll show your appreciation of the art of bringing out the best of what nature provides. So there we go. one mesquite natural edge bowl, and if you take a quick look at it, we kept most of the bark on. That piece right there flew off at some point, but that's kind of one of the reasons why you wear a face shield. I have not sanded the inside, though I did sand down the outside. Did you figure out what I was doing differently than a normal bowl? I was going against the grain quite a bit. Basically, when I'm turning this style of bowl, it's almost like you have to think of it as two different bowls. That above the sap line and that below the sap line. And when you're turning it, especially like on the outside, if I'm coming in this way, what you have to do in order to keep the bark, if you pull out this way, you're basically pulling the bark off. So you always have to enter the wood in. Well, the wood down here is unsupported. And up until this point in the bowl, all this, I had to go against the grain, so I had to take it really slow, and I had to sharpen a lot. Once you get past the sap line, you can just muscle it through like I normally do. The same with the interior. I could never pull out like I normally do. I always had to enter in nice and smooth until I get past this lower sap line. And once you saw me do that one, it took me maybe 45 minutes to do this interior section up into that sap line, and once the sap line, it took about 5 minutes to do the rest. Just bam, 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 muscle your way through, turn up the speed, and have at it. So that's the key thing, is whenever you are turning a natural edge bowl, you got to think of it as two bowls. The top bowl you have to be very delicate with. You have to maintain the sharpness of your tool, and you're going to have to go against the rules by going against the grain, and that's why you have to go slow so you don't get a lot of tear out. Now, I did not sand the interior of this bowl, and I left it about a 1/2 inch because my normal market is a farmer's market, and these take a little bit more abuse. If I was putting it in a gallery, I would probably go down to about 3/8 of an inch. But if you noticed, a lot of times when I was doing it, I was checking quite a bit because I had one edge that was a little bit lower, so I had to enter in and come up underneath in order to maintain a consistent thickness all the way around. If you did like a normal bowl, you just came in and did the curve in, it would be thin up here and thicker down here because this is lower. So you have to take that in consideration, and once again, treat it like two different bowls. Now I'm going to put this in my store right away to start marketing it, but understand I'm probably not going to deliver it for a month because I'm about to put oil on it, and after that I'm going to put it in a paper bag for that month and let it slow down and dry. The oil will polymerize by then, and at that point I can hand sand the interior. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, that's turning out nice. I can hand sand the interior, though. I did a pretty good job on this interior. I shouldn't take too much sanding. On the outside, I started with 180 grit just because it was wet, and anything finer would have clogged up too fast. And that's all I did. But after it warps out, I'll spend maybe 20 minutes going through the grits and just hand sanding it, then apply more oil and probably a little coat of beeswax. I do the oil because as it polymerizes, it does tend to plug up the pores, and it kind of slows the drying quite a bit. Look at that. You can see a few of my scraper marks, but that's not too bad. I like that. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe got a few tips. We do run a little online store, and that is where I will have this on the market. So if you want to buy it, just understand it won't be delivered for about a month or two, and I'll follow up with you before then. After that, I will probably put it out in my farmer's market sales to sell. Would be kind of cool to have a gift where you could actually show them the video of it being created. I kind of like that idea. And we also have other items like t-shirts and other bowls, boxes, cabinets. Sometimes I also sell some handmade furniture, handmade tools, and all of those help subsidize me so that I can continue making these little videos I enjoy doing. I want you to also remember one last thing. As usual, it is always worth the effort to learn, create, and share with others. Pretty cool. Y'all be safe and have fun.